everyone, welcome to In Conversation with Women of Zeitz MOCAA. Today I am joined at the table with some remarkable women from across the various departments. So ladies, welcome. Let's dive right in. I'd love to know, hands up, how many of you as teenagers saw yourself being here for the first, would you ever imagine that this is where you would end up?
No, not as a teenager, no. I don't
No,
think
definitely
so.
not.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So there was something in you where you felt
Definitely.
this path. Can you tell us more about that?
Well, sure. My mother, it actually started off with my mother. During a part that she had to get a permit to study fine art at university. And then she became an artist, and I went to her exhibitions growing up. So as a little kid in my community, that was very unheard of. So if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have known of places such as galleries and museums. Yeah.
Wow.
So I feel that,
Amazing.
and I was a child that never really expressed themselves with words. And when I saw an artwork that evoked emotions that I felt, that's where the power was for me, that art is important. So, I think I've always wanted to be in the art field. Yeah.
That's
Interesting.
incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
I'd love to know if any of you, art was not an option or not a consideration in your path to where you are in your career.
Interestingly, I excelled in high school with creative subjects like English and speech and drama, but I really wanted to be a journalist. But I got into visual art through photography, which eventually led to me working in a newsroom. And the journey since then has been very meandering. I had a lot of artist friends growing up, especially in my 20s. Spent a lot of time in Johannesburg, running around with friends who, had artist studios, had exhibitions at galleries, and had multiple really inspiring conversations around how they viewed the world, through art, through their art. And that became something I desired. I also realized that art actually opens up the world to you. It's how you can discover and travel and encounter multiple kinds of cultures and ways of life and stories, of course.
I think it kind of brings me to my question to you, Petulia, is that at the heart of what you do in the HR space, overseeing a diverse group of individuals, how has that been a challenge for you, and how do you manage to achieve it with such grace? Because I know that every day is a different story.
Yeah, it is. Thank you. I think, what I have is passion for people. And it actually starts from there. I've always desired to make a difference in others' lives and to see them grow and develop. And having that passion allows me just the opportunity to get to know people, to understand them. And in so doing, I manage what I need to do on a daily basis because of the passion that actually drives it. And people are what I enjoy in terms of connecting with. It inspires me in that way as well. Even though there's challenges that do come, I always see it as an opportunity for learning, regardless of how difficult it might be. But what can you take out of that and move forward? So that drives me every day.
And I must give you your flowers, Petulia. You're incredibly good at it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
supportive.
you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, incredibly supportive.
Yeah.
I think very few companies I've experienced have had such hands-on HR departments
Right.
that bring all of themselves to the work. Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate.
Thank you.
And I think what I also enjoyed was Koya used to always say, and I always remember that, she will say, it's not just a job, that we have. And her passion also for people was inspiring in a way as well, because, she always just said, it's the people that make the difference here.
Yeah.
And that's why we're here.
Yeah. People
And
are more important than things.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
she's,
exactly.
she's widely
Always
quoted
said
with
that.
that. Yeah.
And remember her for that.
Koya used to give these pep talks, when I started, and I then heard her give these little pep talks to other team members who start with the organization, and she would say, if you're here to do a job, you might get frustrated and perhaps you won't last very long, but if you're here to join the mission, then you're in the right place. And honestly, if I ask myself, why am I still here since September 2022?
Right.
I'm on a mission, and I also really always had this kind of mission centeredness about myself. I remember, interesting fact, some of you perhaps know, I applied to the military because I'm so mission sort of centered many years ago. So it was always sort of between communications and drama for me.
Oh, interesting.
Very much spoken word, written word,
Yes, exactly.
drama. And then even after high school, I'd have, former students, former fellow learners say, oh, are you doing drama? What are you doing? And I ended up studying communication science. But interestingly, I wanted to do communication in the military. I was accepted to the permanent force, but then I had to undergo major surgery, and then the second time I failed my physical. And I then sort of just progressed into different arts and culture fields, because communications is what's interesting about it. You can apply it in any industry, in any sector. And I found that really, it came so easily for me. So it was always arts, culture, tourism sectors. And so being here at Zeitz MOCAA was actually a dream for me to be here, because I remember the grain silo buildings, and there was a time I used to park in the parking area behind the silos, the historical grain silos. So of course with the transformation, I was very pleased and delighted to see how it was transformed into this cultural institution. And it was during lockdown. This place was a ghost town, but I found myself here and I looked at the building. I remember walking up to the glass doors, and actually, it was so quiet, it was so still, and I said to myself, if I could work here, I could go back to a 9-to-5 again, because I was working as a consultant. And so, for me being here, it's been a culmination of years of journeying through or meandering through the written word, through film, through television, through radio, working in arts, working in culture, tourism, and here it really is such beautiful, a culmination of all of it, even architecture.
Precisely.
So I'm really pleased to be part of this dynamic team, truly a dynamic team. And I learned something new about you today.
I learned about you. Wow.
Look at us.
It's amazing.
The military is an interesting one, Esther. And the reason I think it's interesting is because I've been in many sessions with Esther, and I wonder, because your leadership style is incredibly empathetic, and that's kind of the new way we're seeing management styles change too. But you were obviously ahead of your time. And I'd really love to know and peel back a little bit and understand where that leadership style comes from and how you managed to do it.
It was not always like that. I can be quite honest, and I could call up a few people now, people I still have on my phone, and they'll say, no, she went through a transformation because my leadership style used to be quite militant.
Okay.
But I went through a personal journey of transformation. So I think it didn't happen. I wasn't born that way, It was a journey. I had to put in a lot of work. I also had to become more forgiving towards myself as a person, and more forgiving towards others, and extend grace, towards myself first. You can only give what you have inside of you. So my tank was empty for a long time. So I was giving from not a healthy place. I was giving from a twisted and warped identity. And so it was only when I started on a personal journey of transformation, I started seeing people I first had to see myself.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think my leadership style then also really changed. It's a natural outflow of that journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I must say, the people I've had the pleasure of working with for the last, 4 years now at Zeitz MOCAA, they're the reason I stay. The work of museum curation, exhibition making, and everything else that we do here is incredibly difficult. It's incredibly taxing emotionally, and like I mentioned earlier, because it's so relational, it can take from you spiritually as well. But I really appreciate hearing your story around the growth and the kind of leader you worked towards being, because I think that also comes with, not to belabor the point of womanhood, but there is a kind of feminine care that this work asks of us as women in this field. And you often hear that why there are so many women curators in the world, which truly there are. I mean, it used to be that there were a lot of white male superstar curators, you know, that ran the field and dominated. But I'd say in the last 20 to 30 years, there's been a serious imprint of very strong women curators from all walks of life. And so it's been great to see an example of that in people like Koyo and all our colleagues here. It's been great to arrive at an institution that values the voices of women curators. So I'm speaking quite specifically from my point of view within the museum, but working with women is what also keeps me here, essentially, is my point. I think I would struggle if the team was majority male, for sure. I like to feel represented in the places I choose to pursue my career in. Here I feel like the majority as a black woman, you know, and that's really powerful. It's incredibly powerful to me. I don't take it for granted.
Recently, I saw someone say that women can have it all, they just can't have it all at once. And I wonder, how do you ladies feel about that statement?
I totally disagree.
We can
Disagree?
multitask.
And I disagree with that too, because there is no such thing as multitasking. So there's
That's
just
true.
a strategic
That's
way of
true.
eating the elephant,
Yeah.
or perhaps not so much, because you eat it you take one bite at a time.
Right.
But I wanted it all. I wanted the career, I wanted the marriage, I wanted the family, I wanted the travel, and I did it all. But it did come at a cost to some extent, you know. And but it happened very, very successfully so. Nannies, we love nannies. It was a great blessing to be able to travel abroad as part of my work and know that they are in good hands. And of course, my husband was very, very hands-on, so I had the support in the home. But I think the downside for me was that it turned me a little bit into a workaholic. So, you know, I lost that balance. I was a bit more lopsided, you know. I had to find the right balance because I then focused more on the work. And it was also at a time when women really had to show up in a different way. You know, we really had to be out there to make ourselves visible and known. I'm here, you know, and I can do the job as well as you can.
That's true.
But I wanted to do it all, and I did. And I think for the most part of it, it was successful. But there was, you know, there was a cost along the way. There was collateral damage along the way.
I mean, I always ask myself, you know, I'm single. I always joke, well, it's a common kind of way of putting it in black culture. You say, I don't have a cat, I don't have a dog, I don't have a child, I'm entirely solo, dolo, doing this life journey. Not alone, of course, I come from a really close-knit family. And but yeah, but at this stage in my life, you know, you hit your your 40s and you realize, oh, there is a thing called middle age, apparently. And you start thinking and reevaluating these things that supposedly, you know, the world around you tells you you should have by that point in your life. But I've picked up on some tools to kind of really counter that inner voice that might, you know, make demands of me, you know, to have certain things that are expected of me. And I realize my philosophy now is, what do I want? That's the bigger question, rather than can I have it all? What is it that I want to have? And once that becomes a clear picture in my mind, then, you know, I think many other things fall into place. The balance becomes something you finesse. You're not going to have balance all the time, particularly not in our field, but you're going to demand certain things of yourself in order to, you know, weigh things up. For instance, rest, good health. That's what I want.
On the topic of women that have impacted us, I'd love to know from you, Riska. Is there anyone that you feel has really made a mark on your trajectory and how you view the world?
Yeah, again, my mother. Also, I recently lost my mother-in-law 2 weeks ago.
Sorry.
And she was a vibrant woman, but she sacrificed a lot. She raised 4 boys, 4 crazy boys. But she always reminded one of being in a state of gratitude, you know, and yeah, she was very inspiring, encouraged me to like now I'm studying as well as working. But she motivated me to do that. So she's one, and I must say I'm very grateful for the women that I work with. I mean, like you brought up mental health. I mean, I bet you there's been many a times I can just go to anyone and have a hug. You don't even have to talk, having a solid hug. Not even talking, and just being like, it's okay, you know? And for me, coming to a space, and it's so important to feel that sense of security in the workspace, which is very unusual.
It's incredibly
You know?
unique.
Yeah.
I have never in my entire professional life encountered an environment that, you know, you're not made to feel that your emotions are out of place in this context, good or bad emotions. You know, you could be as passionate as most of us are about this work, but we have the space to express that. And then, you know, life can happen, and you can come to work and be as strong as you want to be, or you feel you can be, or you can fall apart. And I think it is. I've never experienced that. You're right, Rishka. It's incredibly rare, and because there are such clear boundaries professionally that we all have. But I think, we all have, I think for the most part, without speaking for everyone, I have experienced those moments of someone needs a hug, and I just need to sit there and be with them and hold their hand.
And someone's hug that I truly miss here. Koyo.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
She'd look at you, hey Rish,
Yeah.
how are you?
Yeah.
And then she'd give you that embrace that you needed.
Yes.
She
You
was
know?
an enthusiastic hugger.
Oy.
Everyone.
That's a good way.
Yeah.
Put it.
She
Everyone
said you must have
expressed a hug
10
for
hugs a day.
Wow.
Yes. You know, so she's a woman that, sure, extraordinary
Absolutely.
in so many ways, you know?
We live in a time now where we understand the spectrum of gender. I do want to sort of speak to that briefly, because the safety we feel in our work environment creates, I've seen how the institution really has carved
Embraces,
out and embraced that new, not new, but that, you know, that evolution of how we think about gender roles in the workplace as well, how people identify in their gender and whatnot. So it's also, it goes back to the safety of it as well.
And I think, you know, a lot of credit to Petulia for
for sure.
for that. the company culture, and I think we've all touched on it at Zeitz MOCAA, is very different to any corporate, any other NPO space. There's a rhythm and a flow that's dictated by ethics of the heart that stem from HR. And like you said, in other spaces, there's a barrier between HR and the people that work there. Yet there's a safety net when it comes to dealing with you. But Julia, I'm sure your experience has shaped why, and it's done quite purposefully, that you have the reputation that you do. How did you? I'm sure you intentionally went about it. How did you do that?
I think also, just to correct you on that point, it's not only HR, it's each one of us that have, you know, created the culture that we do have. We've just helped to facilitate it and encourage that culture to emanate. From my side, I think it stems, as you know, all comes from home. You know, my mom, my dad, being very driven people, very business-minded actually as well. And I came from a very big family. So, you know, we always were there to see each other grow and support and develop. And that's where it initiated and started from. And then just my fortunate opportunities, having studied and done post-studies, and then the doors that opened with major, big corporates. Yes, I've been there, and that really helped for me to gain the skills, the knowledge, for my own growth as well, because I had to also go through my own learning experiences and transform, like Esther was saying. And that really gave me a wealth of experience and knowledge from that perspective, which then really helped me when I came to Zeitz MOCAA to actually see what could I do here, what transformation, what changes needed, and how to go about that. And of course, ensuring that you bring in the people with you, because it's easy to go and just say, let's make this change and transformation from top, and that's it. But how do we bring individuals together to enable that? And that's really helped. Yes, and constantly thinking of the purpose that somebody mentioned, Esther, which is very important. And that's what I've been trying to emphasize. What is the purpose? Why do we exist as an organization? And then looking at individuals. What's your purpose here? So that aligns, and yes, it just encouraged much more passion and inspiration for each other.
It's amazing how people in our lives sometimes they believe in us more than we believe in ourselves. And to have that female figure believing in you and pushing you along the way, it really becomes the foundation on which the rest of your career develops and the rest of your life.
Mine is my twin sister. A lot of people don't know that.
Oh,
I'm twin, but my identical twin sister. She's my inspiration and support, and she'll always say, you know, you've done so much so far, and she admires what I've done. You can do that. You can do that, and that keeps me going.
It's incredible.
I mean, I can't name just one. I simply cannot. And especially, I want to also mention them by name because, like I said earlier, the reason why I'm still part of the mission here at Zeitz MOCAA is because of the people. So I do want to acknowledge that there are 3 colleagues, women colleagues, that really have shaped my growth. Personally and professionally. Lee Burgers, who's our registrar, Julia Kabat, our brilliant exhibition manager and designer, and Thandazani Lagama, former colleague now. I got to Zeitz MOCAA and she really held my hand through not even just the practicalities of onboarding me into my role here as an assistant curator back in 2022, but just really shepherding me through all the relationships that the work comes with, you know, and being incredibly supportive in moments where I just didn't know how I was going to figure things out, particularly here in Cape Town. So I relocated from Johannesburg for this work, and my life in Cape Town just was like nothing I'd ever experienced before. So on a personal and professional level, all three of my colleagues really rallied around me in so many times, in moments where there really was this constant hardness or difficulty about my life in Cape Town. They got me through it.
It's really, I mean, I think it just speaks to the unique nature of this building and the people that work here, because there's a sense of sisterhood and there's a sense of support. And I think, I mean, I didn't have the privilege of meeting Koyo, but I believe she did often say that we're moving together and we're all achieving, we're all on, you know, the path to the same objective. And I think, you know, to close off this beautiful discussion, I'd love to go around the table and get an idea from you guys. If you could give a piece of advice to any young woman or even your younger self, what would that advice be?
Because it's top of mind, I just feel as though, you know, life is something you have to persist at. And younger me just kept, I was a doer of things. I still am, I guess. I'm a doer of things. I just throw myself into things and I do them. And next thing you know, I'm at another sort of, in another context. Or, but my life here in Cape Town has taught me the importance of persisting. When I look back on both my career and my journey as an individual, that's the common denominator. I kept at it. I kept doing all the things. And eventually that really surfaces and becomes very apparent to those around you that you're pulling from passion, you know, a passion within you. There's this other phrase that Koyo used to say, dig where you stand. And that's that principle of perseverance and persistence for me. Keep digging where you stand to find the thing that you know you're looking for, that transforms you, that empowers you, that makes you feel your purpose in life, you know. So it's important in this field to persist and not give up. It's a tough industry. You know, your regular celebrities and pop stars will tell you that there's no such thing as you know, like you just got the success yesterday. You know, it takes many, many years. It takes many, many disappointments, but ultimately, the level at which you persist is the thing that gets you there.
I love that. Dig where you stand. I love that. I think from my side, I would say to young people is, you know, if you're given an opportunity, and this actually is a quote also from Richard Branson, if you're given the opportunity and you're not sure how to do it, say yes to it, because you can learn how to do it.
Yes, exactly.
So when opportunities come your way, take them. Say you don't know, learn how to do it, ask, and get in and do it. And that's also helped me to answer part of your other questions as well. Really helped me. If I was given something, I'd be like, you know what, I don't know how to do it, but I will take it. And then I'd go find out. And to your point, persist. Persist. Look for opportunities, don't wait for it. Go out there and dig.
Exactly.
So that's what I would encourage, and live life to the best. Enjoy it.
Definitely.
For me, it's simply 2 words, just be. I call it sitting down in a wingback chair of just being. You know, you can be tempted to strive and do all kinds of things, and sometimes it's not even necessary. Just be. Just be.
Be in the moment.
That's it.
Yeah.
Just sit down in a wingback chair, just being. We are human beings. You know, we're not human doings or doing. We are human beings, so just be. Just be yourself. Trust that you are enough.
As
You
I
know,
say,
I
trust
am
the
enough.
process.
I am more. So just be. Yeah.
This is true.
And the powerfulness of being still.
Yeah.
You know, there's power in that stillness.
Completely. Yeah.
And being flexible like a willow tree.
Yeah, at the same time.
Well,
For life and work. You know?
Yes.
for life and work.
Amazing.
I think, yeah, the importance of, from being someone young till my age and older, to be present, to speak your truth is always important, because that is you, you know, and I love it. Persevere, going beyond the fear. And like when my niece was 4 years old, and I was in a situation, she came to me and told me, breathe and believe.
Oh, wow.
So if a 4-year-old can remind you of that,
Powerful.
I think that those are good words.
Yes.
Yeah.
From the mouths of
Breathe and
babes.
Be still.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And on the note of a 4-year-old's words and advice, just want to thank you ladies for joining us today. I think that your learnings, what you've spoken about, is so powerful.
Thank you.
And I appreciate your time. And that's it from us.
Thank you.
Thank you.